Okay, I will start myself first. Again, my name is Burak Boyacı. I'm the product manager for Lippert Steel and OpenBridge designer. I will start and introduce Lippert Steel enhancements and then give stage to my colleague Xin Lu. I would like to start with the our GUI consolidation efforts for OpenBridge designer. Although you will not see this enhancement, this change, if you are using only standalone Lippert Steel, but I'm pretty sure that there are OpenBridge designer users in this call too, so I thought this could be a good introduction. OpenBridge designer has not been released yet. Lippert Steel and Lippert Concrete, though, were released last month. I think the Lippert Concrete was released in the second week of April, and Lippert Steel was released in the third week of April. And by the end of this month, in May, we will also release OpenBridge Designer, including version 19 of both products and components. So for the ones who are familiar, who are not familiar with OpenBridge Designer, we have two different workflows for OpenBridge Designer. One of them is BIM workflow, Bridge Information Modeling workflow. The other one is the standalone workflow. For standalone workflow, you have access to three components: OpenBridge Modeler, Lippert Steel, Lippert Concrete, and we are also adding RM Bridge in this May release. So you will have access to 4 products, and they will not be any different than what you are using as a standalone product. So it's going to be the full version with all controls. BIM workflow, though, we are consolidating the user interfaces, meaning, for example, let's talk about Lippert Steel here. For Lippert Steel, we are removing physical modeling aspects from Lippert Steel user interface, and let OpenBridge Modeler is the physical modeler for analytical components, which are Lippert Steel and Lippert Concrete. As you see here in this slide, the left panel of Lippert Steel is much longer. For the ones who know how it looks, you see we removed a lot of geometry controls from Lippert Steel, and later on, OpenBridge Modeler will be the pure modeler for the BIM workflow, and we will only keep analysis options under Lippert Steel. So this was one of the efforts we put, and this will be released at the end of the May. Let me move on. This was the top girder field splice design was the biggest analytical enhancements we added for Lippert Steel. For the Lippert Steel users, they already know that we were supporting I-girder field splice design, but top girder field splice design was not implemented yet. And as you know, that with LRFD 8, there were significant changes to significant changes to field splice design. It's much simpler now. It's more straightforward, and we introduced this for LRFD 8 for top girder field splice design. We are providing a look and feel of the splice you're designing, although these are very exaggerated views. As you see, the width of the flange is quite different in one side to the other. We are also giving you opportunity for the settings for top flange and bottom flange. You can enter the number of bolts, number of rows, the column spacing, the edge distances. All of these are required for fastener checks, and as well as the as well as the shear rupture or tension checks. We also have, as you see at the bottom, we have two options. One of them is you can check if your field splice design passing all the requirements of the new code, or you can select design here. For design, we are coming up with a number of balls, coming up with the plate thickness and plate sizes for you, and we make sure that, as you see here, this is the status bar, the results are okay. Design is passing. Yes, please, if you have any questions, please put on the chat box and we'll try to answer. And we are running too many different checks for the field splice design. This is just a very small example of how the reports will look. Here we show the ball bearing resistance and ball bearing resistance inner plates and flanges, as well as the flange strength force detail table. This is, again, this is a result of the new LFD8 application. Oh. Alex. Okay, I just wanted to, I paused for a second because I wanted to make sure that everyone can hear me. Okay, thanks Jimmy, thanks Steve. Alex, please check your speaker connection. Okay, okay, thanks Alex. Okay, I was talking about this flange strength force details table. These variables, for example, Rn, PFY, HW, these are all introduced with the new method, and we are presenting them in a single table so that you can run your own calculations and then verify the results, find out what the PFY to be applied here, what the demand and capacity here, and then at top view, you'll see what the demand is, what the capacity is, and then the ratio, and corresponding actual reference. Steve has a question, I guess, at this point. Are there any plans on enhancing the design optimization function so that it will decrease plate sizes based on design requirements rather than only increase as it's now? Very good question, Steve. Thanks for asking. The short answer to this is we definitely need to do that. I agree. But currently, our algorithm is going only towards one direction. Let me put it this way. So for a healthier design optimization, you should start with a conservative size. So if you start with a smaller size, with small increments, we increase the wherever necessary, right? So if the flange thickness is a problem, we increase the flange thickness gradually. If the height of the section is a problem, we increase the height of the section gradually. But we never decrease the section. So currently, it's a good practice to start with a conservative section, but in the future, we will definitely find the most economical section if the section is extremely over-designed. And the next enhancements we have is we replaced our graphics viewer. We used to use DGN Navigator previously, as you know, and there were some problems with DGN Navigator, especially when you enter when you are entering big tables, and if you are very quick about it. DGN Navigator sometimes was failing to respond to those quick inputs, and once in a while it was crashing. So we decided to replace it with a better technology, graphics viewer. And as you see, I mean, it doesn't look very different. It just feels a little different, but I think in a good manner. And it can also see, you can also see this wired view as well. Previously, I don't think this was an option. So this is a good step towards being a more stable user interface. Oh yes, John. John was saying that he experienced the crashing with the DGN Navigator previously, and then he liked this change. Thanks very much. That's what we thought so, because we heard some complaints about it. We experienced these problems ourselves too. So I thought we thought that it's time to change. And this is working very good now. We didn't encounter any problems. Do you have any other questions related to LibBridge Steel? Otherwise, I'll leave the stage to my colleague Xinlu. Okay, I'll leave the stage to Xin now. If you think about for some other questions too, please feel free to write. We'll take more questions at the end. Thank you. Also, you can find the release notes in this link under the Bentley communities. Xin?
All right, thank you, Greg. Very good presentation about the LibBridge Steel and the OpenBridge designer, the introduction. My name is Xin Lu. I'm the product manager of LibBridge Concrete. And in the following session, I'm going to give you a quick update about what's new in our April release of the LibBridge Concrete Connect Edition version 19. So we call this the release, intermediate release. The version number of this release is 19.00.00.22, as shown in this screenshot. So as you might recall, we already keep doing we call the release of the LibBridge Concrete. We already had like 2 maintenance releases, one in November last year, and the other in January this year, since the previous the intermediate release, which was out October last year. So the primary goal of this release was to upgrade the LibBridge Concrete into a 64-bit application. So there are a few compelling reasons for doing this. First of all, it is a requirement for LibBridge Concrete consolidation as a part of a new OpenBridge designer solution we will offer to our users in, I think, as Barak just mentioned, in late May, basically this month. And secondly, this upgrade created a foundation with better interoperability of LibBridge Concrete to be compatible with other 64-bit Bentley products, such as like a roadway design solution, Open Road Designer, in the future down the road. In addition, this 64-bit upgrade offers the overall faster analysis in LibBridge Concrete and superior capability of handling large and complex concrete bridge models. Please note, there is a change of the LibBridge Concrete file format due to the 64-bit upgrade. It comes with a new extension of the user file name, changing from previously from LBC to LBCX. So the new upgrade is we call it a backward compatible with all old lib files, meaning that the new LibBridge Concrete still recognizes and runs the old lib files with the extensions like LBC, XML, CSL for the old CONSPAN, and CBX for old COMBOX, RCP for old RCP files, and GMD for the old GeoMath. So, however, when you save the files in the new LibBridge Concrete, you can only save them as LBX, the new formats. I saw one question. I'll answer that at my end of the talk. All right. As you can see here, at the request by our users, we add the support of the 8 standard beam types for Utah DOT. You can see on your right, you will see a typical Bob T beam cross sections and the related the strand pattern from Utah DOT. And on the left, you will see those Utah DOT beams are listed under the LibBridge Concrete beam cross-section libraries, and also you see those the parameters of the cross-sections. As I mentioned, this in our users project, so they were trying to model to build the a true 3D model with Utah DOT beams through the OpenBridge modeler. So with this implementation of the in our LibBridge Concrete, they will be able to do the analysis and the design for those bridges, basically. So you can see there's a window showing all the parameters of the cross sections. Here, similarly, at the request, this is a direct request from Iowa DOT. So we added the support of the standard beam types. There are also 8 beam types. So including the 4 Bob T beams here, B, C, D, E, and the 4 standard beams, A, B, C, D. With that being said, so okay, here let's take a quick look at the release notes. This is a link on our we call the B community, so you will find the more details about the releases through this link below. So with that being said, so I conclude my presentation now, and let's take a quick look at the questions from our attendees. So let me see the questions. Here. So I experienced the crashing quite a bit. So
that was about LibSteel.
Okay, that's LibSteel. Okay. All right.
Steve is typing a question, I guess. Let's
All
wait
right.
for him.
Okay.
Please feel free to ask any questions related to bridge design or any other Bentley products as well. It could be OpenBridge Designer, OpenBridge Modeler. And we'll try to answer as much as we can.
Yeah. All right, Steve's. This is a question from Steve. So it looks you are experiencing some crashing in LibBridge Concrete when opening and modifying the old files. Okay, you already contacted our support and told the fix is in the works. Okay, Steve, I'll double check with our technical support team to get to the bottom of this. But we do, how I said, run into a couple of some issues reported from user about concrete. They have some issues with opening the old lib concrete files. But so far we only have a case by case file, not the 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 issue there. So, but we're investigation. I'll get back to you when I get more details from our technical support group.
Okay, there's a question from Sam. I'll take that one. Will new revisions of LeapBridge add all the HTOP parameters? This is a very good question, Sam. We typically support 2 or 3 latest HTOP versions. You'll see in LeapSteel it's a drop down at the top menu, and similarly in LeapBridge Concrete there's a drop down to select the corresponding HTOP code. Okay, and Henry is asking a question for Shin.
Yeah.
Are the LADOT standard beams included in Leap Concrete? Mm-hmm. If not, when it's going to be added?
For this particular one, I don't think we have right now have that included in our the LADOT's standard beams in our library. So I think the best way we do this is I need to check if we have ever received any requests from that. If not, we need the information. We need to send out the follow up. I would come back. I would say get back to you with the how I said that with my I'll send you an email to follow up with you with this basically.
Okay, another question from Jimmy. He's asking for Iowa DOT beams. User input are used to approximate the section properties. Will in future the actual geometries could be drawn for those beams? Shin, that's another question for you.
There are 2 aspects about this. When you talk about the actual geometry be drawn, we handle that in our modeler part, basically through the OBM, which is OpenBridge modeler. So, but for the analytical and the design purposes, we will not get to that details like the detailed we can get it through the modeler. So we will keep the section property that's more critical for analytical module to do the analysis and design. Does that answer your question, Jimmy?
Okay, while we are waiting. Okay, all right. Another question from Steve for Shin. HTOP seems to be pushing more for strata and tie for sections that qualify as deep beam. Is there any plans for peers that are not hammerhead to include this?
Yes, we recently, actually, as a matter of fact, we received some feedback from our users requesting to basically enhance our capability related to strata and tie. Currently in LeapBridge Concrete, we support some basics related to strata and tie only for hammerhead. That type of particular type of the pier types, but in the future we are going to extend that capability and address more the request from actual code basically. Okay, straddle pier. Let me see. Okay, I think we will include that also not only the hammerhead but also the straddle piers. Yes.
Okay, let's give a few more minutes for the attendees. We still have time. We can still discuss things. We can still answer questions. Jimmy was typing something. By the way, IBC International Bridge Conference is going to be held in Washington, D.C. next month. If any of you join that meeting, I would like to meet in person for the ones who I don't know already. And there's another ESHTO meeting at the end of June in Alabama for ESHTO Subcommittee of Bridges. I'd like to meet the others in that meeting too. Please stop by if you see a Bentley sign or if you see our badges.
All right, here is a question from Jimmy. LibBridge Concrete version 19 is included in the OpenBridge Designer, right? When it will be available? Our IT is trying to get version 19 OpenBridge Designer.
Yes, a very good question, Jimmy. We have been getting this question a lot of the times in the past few months. What we are trying to do is, because OpenBridge Designer includes all other components in it, OpenBridge Modeler, LibBridge Steel, LibBridge Concrete, IronBridge. Typically, first we need to close the cycles of LibBridge Steel and LibBridge Concrete and release them first. And typically, we need about 3 to 4 weeks in between LIB releases and OpenBridge Designer releases to include and then put a wrapper in, around it and then put it in OpenBridge Designer. At the end for this OpenBridge Designer, including version 19 release of LIB will be released at the end of this month, at the end of May. But moving forward, we are going to release LIB standalone products at the same time with OpenBridge Designer. In our August releases, you will see them. You'll see all of them released at this very same time. So there will not be any discrepancies moving forward. Any other questions? Okay, let's wait for Jimmy. Correct. Yes, Jimmy. Because the latest market version of OpenBridge Designer was released back in December last year, December 2018. And at that time, the only available LIB products, the latest LIB products was version 18 update 2 of LIB Steel and LIB Concrete. So now version 19 of LIB Steel and LIB Concrete is available as of last month, say 3-4 weeks ago. And now we are working towards an OpenBridge Designer including version 19 of LIB Steel and LIB Concrete. But as I said, moving forward in our August release of bridge products, all of our products will be released at one time. LibBridge Steel, LibBridge Concrete, and OpenBridge Designer will be released at the same time. Okay, Jimmy is typing. And in the meantime, if there's any other questions, we can take it. Doesn't have to be related to LIB Steel or LIB Concrete. Could be related to bridge. Yes, Jimmy, if you have OpenBridge Designer license only, then at this time, unfortunately, you need to wait for OpenBridge Designer release, which will happen at the end of this month, to be able to have access to version 19 of LIB products. But again, in the future, I promise that both LIB products and OpenBridge Designer will be released at the same time. So there will not be any discrepancies. There's a question from Alex. Will you hold a session about deep bridge modeling analysis for steel bridges? Definitely, definitely. If you're interested in a session for your agency or company, please email us, and we can definitely arrange a presentation or introduction. It doesn't have to be through a special interest group. It doesn't have to be through this meeting. It can be specific to your agency or company as well. Please reach out to us. Let me write my email address here along with Shin's email address. Thank you very much, Doğukan. Yeah, we are getting 2 more questions or comments. Let's see. We are recording it, and Patsy is going to answer you quickly in the chat window. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Thank you for joining. Patsy is going to respond to the question related to replaying this webinar. Yeah. It will be posted to SIG Learning Pad within 7 to 10 business days, and it will be on demand. Okay, if there's no other questions, thank you very much for joining us. We hope to do this more frequently. Maybe we can have some excuses that Alex travels and then we get together again. Thanks very much for joining, and please feel free to email us if you have any questions, any requests, or anything. We'll be glad to reply and get in touch.
All right, thank you, everybody.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.